Greetings everyone, it's Sue Coulson here from the Cosmic Classroom in Avebury on the 6th of June 2021, and I just thought I'd hop online for a little while and do a Facebook Live. It's been a while since I've done a live video blog and I just wanted to connect in with everybody, so I'm sure some folks will join me in a moment when it's all a bit impromptu. Nobody knew I was coming online, so here I am just to talk to you about the energies of this time. There's been an awful lot going on in the last few weeks and months, and I thought I would try and bring some of it into a summary, into a bit of a clarity for some of you maybe, just to help to understand how all the energies are moving and flowing at this time, with the hope that that's going to help you to find your balance within it. So I'm going to focus on a period that I'm going to call the eclipse season, or the eclipse window. So you may be aware that the last full moon, which was only just over a week ago, on the 26th of May, was a lunar eclipse. For me, the eclipse season started with the initiation of that new moon. So that was the Taurus New Moon on the 11th of May. And its energy has built up as we've come to that lunar eclipse on the 26th of May. And the last couple of weeks, so last week and partly now, we are still integrating everything that's part of that lunar cycle. When we get to the next lunar cycle, then we're going to start with a solar eclipse, which is then going to roll all that energy forwards again for the whole duration of the next lunar cycle as well. So it's like a 2-month window that I'm going to be speaking about. Okay, so it started with the Taurus New Moon on the 11th of May, and it will close with a Cancer New Moon on the 10th of July. Now, I was aware that the energies for the Taurus New Moon were very much speaking to us about how we balance our internal self. Like, how do we find that place of equilibrium where we can find a place of peace for ourselves? It was an image of the tarot card, Temperance, where she's got 1 foot in the water and 1 foot on the land. It really felt like that for me, like we were standing on this real clear knife edge of, we could hold on to all of the familiar things from the past, or we could step over the line, if you like, put our weight on the other foot and start to call in the energies for a new way of being and a new way to balance ourselves. So that was the initiation of that Taurus New Moon with its earthy energies. And as that lunar cycle grew and we got to the lunar eclipse, I was very much taken outside to be within the Avebury stone circle. So the Cosmic Classroom, for those of you that might not know, is right in the middle of the Avebury stone circle on the first floor of the hen shop on the high street. So I have access to all of the energies from in here, which is beautiful, but sometimes I'm called out onto the land. And for the lunar eclipse, that was the case. I was asked to go outside and to stand on the land in 4 different places, to bring an awareness to the elemental energies. Okay, let me just say hello. Hello, Dot. Thanks for being here, my darling. Nice to see you here. There's a couple of other people around as well. Say hello if you can hear me. So what occurred for the lunar eclipse was bringing awareness of air to fire. Obviously, air fans the flame of fire, to bring an earth vibration into the water. So we were following pathways deeper and deeper into the earth, following the flows of the water, to find a new depth to the level of our ability to ground into the earth plane. And then we moved around and we were working with fire in the earth and merging the two. So once we'd opened those pathways into the earth, I very much saw us bringing in new solar rays, new levels of light into those underground earth passages. And then we were working with water and air, seeing the contribution that water makes to our hydrological system as it evaporates and goes into the air, and all of the flows down through the mountains and the rivers and out to the oceans again. So the whole system of how those two elements are tied together. Now, working with the elements in that way brought an awareness of oxygen and how oxygen ties all of those elemental forces together. Obviously, we know that air is made up of a percentage of oxygen. We know that water is made up of a percentage of oxygen. An awful lot of oxygen is locked into the rock building strata of the earth. And obviously, fire can't burn without oxygen. It's its fuel. So we've been working with the element and the elemental energies to bring a new level of balance to the body. So part of that has been through breath work, actually bringing new vibrations into the body with the breath, by acknowledging that we're breathing in the supportive energy from the earth, so the rising energy, as well as the descending energy that's coming in from the starlight realms, to find that place of balance within from the up and down, but also finding that place of balance within ourselves in respect to all those around us. I've been very, very aware of the interconnectivity, if you like, through those close relationships with those that are around me most often, but how that ripples out, you know, just the interconnectivity through that oneness that we're aiming for at the moment. Now I'm seeing the place where we come into that deep sense of peace within ourselves, when we find balance, is a real pivot point, because when we're in that sense of peace, it opens our awareness so much more to the perception of what we are able to receive through our senses. So there's been an expansion coming into to the third eye, to the heart, to the solar plexus. And I see the solar plexus as the place of intuition, and the heart the place of interconnectivity through the cosmic structures, and the third eye as that place to focus our awareness on what it is we're receiving. And obviously the solar plexus energy plays into this discernment levels of that. So it's a balancing for the whole system in the body, but with a focus, bringing some clarity to the expansion in perception. Now, often when we think about that, we think about expanding the third eye, and we think about what we see with our inner vision and what we see with our eyes. But there's a difference between seeing, whether it be physically or energetically, and perceiving. There is an awful lot of information that's available to us through our other senses. And so I'm seeing a change and a shift in that through this eclipse season, that I feel is a real contribution to our expansion as we move forwards into, you know, this new paradigm that we have been anticipating, preparing for, and we're now ready to embrace as we made the shift at winter solstice last December. So really this eclipse season is fueling, if you like, our ability to be able to step up a level. It's opening our sensitivity. It's opening up that level of awareness to what more is available to us. Now, that doesn't always feel that comfortable, because we're not used to necessarily feeling into everything quite that way. But it's the transformation that we're hoping to expand into. You know, we all say we want change, but it's more difficult to actually step through those levels of change, and we have to learn the skills to do that. And the biggest message that's come through for me today and the last few days has been one of trust. That we have to learn how to relax, and we have to learn how to trust, and how to go with the flow of all of these new cosmic waves that are coming in. Because I foresee a big change. You know, there's lots of transformational energies in the astrology charts at the moment, speaking to tension and conflict, which always open an expansion of awareness of what we want and what we don't want. And as we actually engage with the threads that we do want and we focus our awareness that way, we really contribute to an expansion, not just for ourselves, but for everybody. So although things might feel unstable right now, really the message that's coming through from my guides, which are the higher dimensional beings of light from the starlight realms, they're telling me that we just have to learn to trust. We need to learn to know that our heart knows the truth. We know when it's time to stop. We know when it's time to go. And we have to just surrender to that. As much as our heads might want to make plans and know where to go and have all the structure in place, right now, the structure is unstable. The structure is forming, and the structure is being formed by us. The only way we can add stability to that is if we pay close attention to how we feel and we find out what's in resonance with the heart vibrations and with the love and follow those threads. And then we start to pave the way for the new way that we're looking for. I hope that makes some sense to some of you. I know a few more here online, so it's nice to see some of you. Hello, Rensky. Yeah, there are some challenging times around at the moment, and we are just having to trust. So this last week for me has been a lot of integration. I've been doing a lot of work with groups in the previous week, both through the lunar eclipse and through the solar alignment with the Pleiades. Lots of new layers of energy came in for that I feel have been setting the foundations for a big transmission to be received through the solar eclipse on the 10th of June. So obviously that's next week. And so I'm doing what I can to find my own personal balance, make sure I'm in a good space to receive that energy, because I'm sensing that is really the fundamental frequency, if you like, of everything that's been culminating over this lunar cycle. We've been setting the foundations with all the work that we've done, and the incoming light for the solar eclipse is going to be the pivot point. Obviously that energy will continue to build up until the full moon, which will be the Capricorn full moon on the 24th of June. And woven into that, we're also going to be receiving codes through solstice. And so by the time we get to that full moon, it's going to be packing a powerful punch, those energies. So I'm going to be working closely with those energies. There are some workshops available if anybody's interested in joining me for those, and you can find information in the link below or on the website, which is cosmicclassroom.co.uk, or you can find them on the Facebook page, Cosmic Classroom, in the events tab. But my sense is that we need to find that place of balance so that we can stand in a very clear space, in a very open-hearted space, almost in a space between spaces is the best way I can describe it. Like everything feels like it's opening more, creating more space, that there's more space in the cells in the body to receive the starlight energies. There's more space and more dynamic energy in relationships. There's more space and room to expand in the cosmic infrastructures due to the elemental balancing that we've been working on over the last few weeks. So if you haven't tapped into that level of yourself, then I encourage you to do so. The way that you would do that would really just to sit in silence and to notice your breath. And as you breathe, notice the contribution that the oxygen in the air is bringing to your body, and just simply ask your body to receive that energy in the most comfortable way that it can, to integrate that energy in the most comfortable way it can, so that it brings the whole of your physical body into a new resonance of space. Yeah. And then once you've found that sense of space, you can be very present with a place of peace. And that place of peace is going to be your anchor point for what's coming through the next week. You know, it's the surrendering into a place of trust. And that's really where I'm aiming to be. You know, throughout all the changes that occur, there's always some point within it that shows up a polarity. We see change. There's sometimes that change feels positive and we're really excited about what's coming. There's always a little part of us that really feels comfortable where we are and would rather not have to change anything. But I'm going to encourage you to find a place of balance so that you can clearly perceive the difference, so that you can weigh it up really carefully and you know which way really is your true path. Not the comfortable path necessarily, but the one that's going to help you to move forwards in a positive way with all the new vibrations that I've been putting into place. There's a lot of new light in the earth. New light paths have been opened. New interconnectivity has been opened through the work I've been doing that is allowing more starlight to flow in and more expression from the earth to be transmitted. So there's a lot of movement in the energies at the moment, which I'm sure a lot of you are feeling. Hi, my darlings. So I will see if I've got some feedback from you. Let me have a quick look. Dot's got a nice message for me saying, yes, definitely coming back to balance, integrating life changes and challenges is getting easier now, and listening to my inner self is needed. Perfect, sweetheart. Yeah, I would agree wholeheartedly with all of that. Thank you. And I'll just wait and see if anybody else does. Oh yeah, Dot sent me one as well. Oh, that was Dot, sorry. I'm muddling you guys up. Yeah, Dot Rensky says, same theme here, trust. It's challenging at times. It is, my darling. It really is a challenge, isn't it? But it's worth it. It's worth the trusting factor, because I think that is an important part of our growth as well, is to just believe, to find that level of total trust and surrender and belief that actually everything's going to be all right. Everything really is unfolding how it's meant to be unfolding, because even the things that we see as challenges are bringing us gifts that are helping us to grow into a new way of being, which is going to pave the way for what we're moving into in the future. Got another message saying Wensky's cleaning up the last pieces of fear. I think that's true for lots of people, sweetheart. I really do. I think so much fear is showing up for so many people at the moment, because we're in that shadow aspect of the eclipse. It always opens us up to shine light on those dark places within us. And that can be challenging for a lot of people. It can bring up, you know, it always starts with thoughts turns into energy, you know, it affects our emotional patterns, it affects our physical bodies at times. I know a couple of years ago the eclipse energy really tipped me upside down. I had some real physical health challenges through the eclipse, and it brought me a lot of new awareness. So anybody that is experiencing anything big through this eclipse season, just acknowledge that these transformational energies are there to help you in the long run, and try and find the gift, try and find what it is that that you're being shown needs to transform, by letting go of old thoughts and beliefs, so that you can flow more smoothly with the incoming energies. Got a lovely little hello from Susan. Hello, my darling. Nice to see you here. Oh, so I'm going to see if any more messages come in, and I'm just going to tell you about my plans for solstice. As I spoke about, solstice is going to be another potent window to allow us to receive some new energetic codes It's right after the solar eclipse and as the energy is building towards that full moon, so it's going to be contributing to everything that we are receiving in the next couple of weeks. Now, for solstice this year, the zenith moment of solstice, which is when the sun transits to 0 Capricorn on the zodiac wheel. That is the mark point that I'm referring to. That occurs at 04:35 British summertime here in the UK. And I have put out an advert yesterday saying that I'm going to be hosting a Facebook live stream. Now, some of you may have joined me before. I've done them for spring equinox, for winter solstice, and last year I brought you live video feeds with a view out of the cosmic classroom window into the Avebury stone circle, so that even those of you that aren't close by, that can't come, have an opportunity to see the stones and connecting with the energies. Now, the timing of that, it feels powerful. It's really as the sun is starting to rise. Usually in Avebury, the sun pops over the horizon here about 10 to 5. Unfortunately, the way that my windows are orientated, I can't show you the actual sunrise, but I'm hoping that over the duration of my live gathering, that you will see the lifting of the light, and that is going to be part of the meditation and the theme that I weave together for that. So I hope some of you will be able to join me online for that. The way to participate in that Facebook Live is just to, how you've found this one today, to look on the Cosmic Classroom Facebook page. It's going to be also on the Henge Shop Facebook page. And so you'll be able to see it advertised there and also broadcast live there. It's like multi-simulcast I'm doing to multiple pages. So you'll be able to find it on my personal page as well as Sue Coulson. So I'm hoping some of you will join me for that. And in the meantime, if any of you are interested in sharing a heart space with me to welcome the energies that are coming through the Solar Eclipse portal on the 10th of June, you will find information about that event, which is a paid event, on the Cosmic Classroom Facebook page and on the website cosmicclassroom.co.uk. So, my darlings, I'm going to see if any of you have got any more questions, so I'll just hang out for a few minutes. And if you do, I'll answer them. Other than that, I'm going to go. Today, I've been in the classroom working with the lion beings from the stars, and another big transmission came through today, which really was an expansion to that level of balance and peace that I've just spoken about. I'm seeing the eclipse, the solar eclipse energy that's coming up was going to be supported by the Phoenix energies. I'm really seeing that transformational fire energy. I'm going to be working with my Phoenix. I think some of you might have met the Phoenix before. Phoenix is going to be taking part in the ceremony and the activation that I hold here in Avebury for that transforming energy coming in through the solar eclipse. I'll put a picture of him up again soon. Oh, Helen says hello from Wales. Hello, Helen. Nice to see you here. It's nice to be joined by some lovely souls, so thank you for hopping online. I know it's a bit short notice. Right, I'm gonna leave you, I think. I leave you with much love, many blessings from here at the Avebury Stones, and I very much look forward to an opportunity to connect with you again at some point. So Debbie's just snuck in there with a little bit of love. Thank you, Debbie. Rensky says thank you. Thank you to you also, my darling. I appreciate you being here. All right. I'll say so long and farewell, and I will hop back online again when I can. But for now, I wish you a wonderful unfolding through the eclipse cycle. I hope that you manage to ride those cosmic waves smoothly and easily, and remember to open your hearts, because your heart knows the way. All right, my darlings. Lots of love. Lots of love for now. Bye, everyone.